Varsity Club, how are you guys doing? I've got a really cool video that I want to bring to you guys today, and I honestly want to do more of these if you guys are down for them. So here's the general topic. EA Sports and Madden in particular always says EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, the NFL draft is right around the corner, or maybe it's happened depending on when you're watching the video. But I want to put Madden against the NFL draft and just see how accurate Madden actually is. So what I've done to do that is I've seeded every single team by their actual draft order. We're going all the way from Arizona at number 1 to New England at 32. We are just doing the first round. We're going to see how close Madden can get to real life using a custom draft class from that franchise guy. I think it's the most downloaded draft class you could possibly have on Xbox One. We're going to use that draft class, the actual order of the NFL draft, to see just how close Madden gets to real life. So the first team on the draft board is the Arizona Cardinals. And what I'll basically be doing is just advancing to the next pick each and every time. They win Rashawn Gary, number 1 overall. I'm gonna be honest, Madden, that's not exactly what I thought would have been a good pick. I mean, no hate on Rashawn Gary, he's good and all, but number 1 over Kyler Murray, over Nick Bosa? What are they doing? All right, number 2, let's see what they do. Okay, Nick Bosa to the 49ers. A lot of my drafts have him there. Obviously, his brother, Joey Bosa, is dominating in the NFL. 83 overall for him, too. I don't hate that. It's a good pick for the 49ers, in my opinion. But again, as you guys are watching this, let me know if you think it's a good pick, a bad pick. Tell me what your team did in real life in the NFL if you watch this past the NFL draft. I'm excited to see how this basically plays out. Josh Allen, right outside linebacker for the Jets. I don't know if he'll go to the Jets per se, but I think he's going to be a stud. And he's one of the more underrated players in the draft, in my opinion. Big fan of his so far. And I feel like the Raiders probably won him more than what the Jets won him, but you never know how it's going to play out on draft day. So for the Raiders, they go TJ Hawkinson, the tight end out of Iowa. I'm going to be honest, he's a good player, but I don't think TJ is going number 4 to the Oakland Raiders. I feel like one of these has really been like accurate per se. The Giants, Tampa Bay goes with Devin White. That could potentially happen. I think Devin White's a stud. He's going to be a really good NFL player. I was reading earlier that the Tampa Bay is really afraid of, do they go back to drafting like the Mark Barron versus Luke Kuechly situation? They took Mark Barron. Obviously, Luke Kuechly became a perennial All-Pro, minus the concussions. He's been incredible. So we'll see what happens. And the Giants, I would assume they go quarterback here. But what do they go with? They go with Kyler Murray. Most people probably assume that Kyler Murray is going all the way over to Arizona, but Kyler Murray in New York. Giants fans, what do you think of that one? So we're like 6 picks deep so far, and if you look at who's in the draft board still, Quinnen Williams, Ed Oliver, Dwayne Haskins, Greedy Williams, Jonah Williams. I mean, there's some really good. DK Metcalf, the 1.6% body fat himself guy, is still there as well. There's some really good talent, and I want to see who goes where now. So Jacksonville is on the board. Who is Jacksonville going to take? Byron Murphy. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know a lot about Byron Murphy, but tell me in the comments down below, is this a good pick? Is this a bad pick? Why would you go corner? Don't they still have AJ Bouye and Jalen Ramsey? I mean, assuming you still have both of those guys, why would you take a corner here? And the Lions are a team that need a lot of help. Detroit fans, I'm really sorry. You guys have been kind of stuck. Greedy Williams at corners, where they go with. I feel like they have other needs potentially. They go with him. Again, I need to know what your opinions are, and feel free to leave me your own mock draft in the comments down below. I'll read some of those, I'll comment on some of those, and when the real NFL draft happens, we'll see who's the most accurate out there. So moving on, the Buffalo Bills are the next pick. They go Montez Sweat. I think that's a pretty good pick. I don't know if he's going to last to Buffalo. I mean, his combine stuff was incredible. If I remember correctly, he's got an awesome story. The team that I want to see now, the Denver Broncos, have the 10th overall pick in the draft. Dwayne Haskins is still there. You just got Joe Flacco. His contract, pretty bad if I remember correctly. So, Joe Flacco there. Do you take the quarterback of the future? Does Joe Flacco get mad? Does he ruffle his feathers a little bit? Let's see what the Broncos do here at pick number 10. They go Quinnen Williams. And honestly, I think there's zero chance that Quinnen Williams lasts to pick number 10. If the Broncos saw him at 10, I think you've got to take him off the board. But if he goes past pick number 5, I would genuinely be shocked. Like, that dude is way too talented to be past that pick. Now, the Bengals are a team that I got to imagine they're going to be last in their division. I mean, even with Pittsburgh having a lot of turnover, they're not going to do very well. They go Brian Burns, right outside linebacker. He's pretty raw. I think he'll be a solid dude off the edge. I don't know if he's going to play end. If he's going to play traditional linebacker. I don't know what the Bengals defense will be this year. They've had a lot of turnover too, but that's an interesting one. Now, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's a lot of weapons. If this were me and I'm at 12 with the guys that went off the board, I'm probably going DK Metcalf here. Give him a big target, a dude that's physical, can go down the field, that could be a red zone threat. I'm probably going with him, but they go Ed Oliver, who is another guy that I literally forgot was still on the draft board. This has been the weirdest draft, I think, of all time, but if you're the Packers again, if Ed Oliver's there, you probably got to take him. Now, one more look at the draft board. Who's available as of right now? So Haskins is the #1 guy listed on the board, with Jonah Williams, DK Metcalf, Andre Dillard, Zach Allen. Josh Jacobs is listed right there too. Jawan Taylor, a fantastic right tackle. That could be a guy that a lot of teams need here in the middle. Devin Bush, Dexter Lawrence, Drew Lock. I mean, will a team trade up and get Drew Lock? AJ Brown, who's DK Metcalf's teammate. There's a lot of good talent. DeAndre Baker's still there. I would love to see him go to Pittsburgh. I'm a Steelers fan. Maybe that's where he goes, but let's see who they are going to take. They go with Clelin Ferrell, the right end out of Clemson. Not a bad pick for the Dolphins. But let's go ahead and see what the Falcons are going to do here. They go Jawan Taylor. I'm not really mad at them for doing that. Atlanta needs a right tackle there, so good news for them. For the Washington racial slurs, let's see who they end up picking up here. Nasir Adderley, the free safety out of Delaware. No disrespect to that young man. I'm sure he's very good. I'm sure he's very talented. I'm sure his parents and his family are very proud of him. But who? I honestly have no idea who that is. Carolina, we're gonna do a couple more of these picks, probably to like 2022, then we'll look at the rest of it. For Carolina, a lot of decisions here. If I'm them now at this point, you got to go DK Metcalf, right? They go Zach Allen, or they could go offensive line. That team, if in real life, if Jawan Taylor's still there, you would take him, find him a position to put. I think he could play left and right tackle. I'd get Jawan Taylor rather than going defense there, because Cam Newton needs all the protection in the world. They have not done enough to protect that man. But the Giants are back up. Multiple quarterbacks are still on the board. Dwayne Haskins, still there. Drew Lock, still there. Do they go back to quarterback here? Someone to succeed Eli Manning? Potentially in the next zillion years, because that dude's been playing forever. They go with Devin Bush, a linebacker. I'm not saying Devin Bush is a bad pick, because he's not. He's a good talent. But you don't go with Dwayne Haskins? Or Drew Lock? Or someone that plays quarterback? How much longer are you going to rely on Eli Manning? Somewhere in Cleveland, Odell Beckham Jr. is laughing really hard right now. And we're on to the Vikings here. They have pick number 18, I believe. Let's go ahead and see what they choose. Jonah Williams, they get the left tackle from Alabama. Again, smart play by them. Protect your young quarterbacks. Do what you got to do. Tennessee's on the board, a team that should also be trying to protect their young quarterback. They go with Ja'Kai Polite. Not really sure how to say his name. So this is really weird. There has been a rush on left ends and right ends and linebackers. The #1 quarterback on the board is still there. DK Metcalf, still there. I'm honestly blown away by the fact that we are just seeing a lot of these guys stay right here. So let's go ahead to the next pick. Pittsburgh takes Greg Little. Honestly, I don't hate that because we need more offensive line protection, so I'm here for that. Apparently, Big Ben's gonna get a contract extension. You got to do what you got to do, but I am blown away. Now, Seattle's up. No chance of the quarterback being taken here. They go with Noah Fant. This kid had a heck of I think his numbers from the combine were insane, or he had something where his pro day numbers were insane. That would be a good pick for them. They obviously didn't have tight ends work out very well for them recently, so hopefully the kid from Iowa will help them out. Now, Baltimore's up here. Again, no chance of the quarterback. Are we going to see a draft with not a single quarterback taken in the first round? Has that ever happened in the history of the NFL? I don't believe that's really going to happen here. Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle from Mississippi State, goes to Baltimore. Houston's here now. They've got a good young quarterback. They got a lot of talent. They go with the left tackle. I don't hate that for them. Get yourself a guy like Andre Dillard from Washington State, who I know literally nothing about. But get yourself a good talent to protect your good young quarterback, who's already had an injury that he's dealing with. So protect that man at all costs. Now, the Raiders. John Gruden. John Gruden is a crazy dude. He has kind of made it seem like he isn't in love with Derek Carr. Does he gamble on a quarterback here? Is this where Dwayne Haskins goes? They have 2 picks out of the next like 4 or 5 here. So let's see what they do here. The Raiders go with Riley Ridley out of Georgia. So they get a wide receiver there. Obviously, they lost Amari Cooper. They got a first-round draft pick from that from Dallas. They go receiver with Riley Ridley. The Eagles, a pretty good year. They go with DK Metcalf. Okay, I feel it. Obviously, Nick Foles left, went to Jacksonville in the offseason. You got your young quarterback coming off of multiple injuries. Not one, but multiple injuries there. Give him a big target like DK Metcalf, who can do pretty much it all. I think he'll be a good pro if he, sticks to it. That's not a bad pick for the Eagles right there. So the Colts are up next. AJ Brown. So back-to-back picks. You see Ole Miss players go there. DK Metcalf and then AJ Brown. AJ Brown playing with the injured luck. As long as that offensive line holds up, I think he'll be pretty happy. He'll have a successful career too. Different style player than DK for sure, but Again, a solid pick. This guy's name Elgton Jenkins. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea who this young man is. Good job, Raiders. I have no idea who that man is. The LA Chargers are on the books now. They go with Taylor Rapp, a free safety out of Washington. Seattle is coming back up now here, pick number 29. They go with Blake Cashman, a middle linebacker out of Minnesota. No one is taking a quarterback. What if Dwayne Haskins goes to the Patriots? That would be wild. I mean, I doubt that happens. Mac Wilson, a middle linebacker out of Alabama, a 70 overall. Someone definitely reached there. We're getting down to the last 2 picks of the first round. Dexter Lawrence. There's no way he goes all the way down here to the Rams. If they do, then the Rams just got even richer than they already are. In the last pick of the first round, I got to see where he goes. New England Patriots, Cody Ford. No one took a quarterback in the first round. And we'll recap it all here in 1 second, but some quick looks at some big names that ended up getting drafted too. Josh Jacobs, a halfback from Alabama, goes all the way to Tampa Bay, fell out of the first round, which some people thought he'd been a late first rounder. Ends up being the early second round in a good situation in Tampa. And all the way in the second round, with their first pick in the second round, the New York Giants finally get Dwayne Haskins off the board. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Dwayne Haskins is waiting to day 2. Some team will gamble on him in the first round. I got a good feeling on that one. So if we recap the NFL draft and just kind of skim through it really quickly, Rashawn Gary with number 1. Look, Rashawn Gary, no disrespect to you, but I don't think you're going number 1. Bosa 2, I think that legit has a chance to happen. And then it gets a little dicey here. I don't think TJ Hawkinson is going number 4, especially at tight end. I mean, Devin White could go to Tampa Bay. There'll be a solid pick. It's either him or Devin Bush. I think one of those guys will go pretty high. Kyler Murray to the Giants, in theory, could happen, but I feel like either the Cardinals are getting him or they're trading out of there. Some other team's going to grab him or someone similar pretty high up. I mean, this is a really interesting draft. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below, but ultimately, I don't think that this draft is representational of what will happen in real life, and I think Madden has a lot of work to do in the franchise mode side of things. This kind of obviously shows it. A little bit of it can be skewed by the ultimate draft class that we're using, but I'm gonna be honest, this was I mean, even for the team needs, the teams weren't drafting based off a team need, which is kind of wild to me. So again, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys crush the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys soon on another video ASAP.